Welcome back to Daily AI News at Let's Data Science. It's 2026 to 4:15. Today, we're diving into some pivotal developments from the future of machine intelligence to major product launches. Let's get to it. We begin with a pair of security stories that, taken together, signal a structural shift in AI risk. Agents are no longer just generating text, they are acting inside privileged environments. First, agentic browsers. Researchers from Brave, Varonis Threat Labs, Trail of Bits, and Unit 42 have demonstrated real-world prompt injection attacks against LLM-powered browsers, including Perplexity Comet, OpenAI Atlas, Edge Copilot, and Brave Leo. The core issue is architectural. These browsers embed large language models directly into the browsing loop, turning web page content into executable instructions. What was inert HTML to a human becomes operational input to an AI agent that can click, navigate, read cookies, and interact with authenticated sessions. Researchers showed indirect prompt injection via hidden text in images extracted through OCR pipelines and malicious HTML that gets forwarded wholesale to the model. Once ingested, attacker-supplied instructions can override user intent. From there, exploitation pivots through privileged browser bridges like chrome.runtime.sendMessage, Mojo IPC, and window.parent.postMessage. The result is escalation from classic cross-site scripting style bugs to full agent hijack and silent data exfiltration. This is not theoretical. These agents have access to session state and cookies. If an LLM agent is authorized to read your inbox or CRM, a malicious page can trick it into sending that data elsewhere. Mitigations are practical but require architectural discipline. Least privilege APIs, strict origin isolation, content provenance tagging, so user intent is separated from untrusted page content, and explicit user confirmation for high-risk actions. Security teams need to treat agentic browsing as a new threat model entirely, not a minor extension of traditional web security. Closely related is a second disclosure involving GitHub Actions. Researchers at Johns Hopkins successfully hijacked three popular AI agents integrated into GitHub workflows: Anthropic's Claude Code Security Review, Google's Gemini CLI action, and Microsoft's GitHub Copilot. The attack pattern is elegant and dangerous. Agents running inside GitHub Actions ingest pull request titles, issue bodies, and comments. By embedding malicious instructions into those fields, researchers coerced the agents to read environment variables such as GitHub token and other secrets, then exfiltrate them via outbound network calls or repository artifacts. Because these agents execute within CI pipelines, they inherit repository permissions and secrets unless tightly scoped. That combination, natural language ingestion plus workflow-level privilege, turns prompt injection into direct credential theft. Anthropic, Google, and Microsoft reportedly paid small bug bounties, but no CVEs or coordinated advisories were issued. That means many organizations pinned to older action versions may remain exposed without realizing it. The operational guidance here is immediate. Rotate high-value tokens, minimize secret scope, prefer OIDC-issued ephemeral credentials, restrict network egress from CI runners, and treat all repository text as untrusted input before passing it to an agent. If an agent can push code or access deployment keys, it must run with the least privilege possible. Now zooming out, a third story shows how offensive and supply chain risks are converging. Anthropic has previewed Claude Mythos Preview under Project Glasswing, describing a model capable of autonomously locating high-severity zero-day vulnerabilities. At the same time, compromised LiteLM packages distributed via PyPI were backdoored to exfiltrate credentials and tokens from developer machines and CI/CD pipelines. This pairing is critical. Agentic vulnerability discovery models shorten the time from reconnaissance to exploit. Supply chain backdoors like the LiteLM incident provide stealthy credential harvesting and lateral movement. Add in academic research showing up to 86% attack success rates for certain clean data poisoning techniques, and you have a compounded risk surface across models, dependencies, and runtime infrastructure. Defenders can no longer treat models as isolated artifacts. Model governance, signed dependency provenance, runtime secret isolation, and reproducible builds must converge into a unified AI supply chain security posture. Shifting gears to infrastructure and vertical integration, Tesla has successfully taped out its next-generation AI accelerator, the A15. Elon Musk shared first images of the package. revealing a central compute die surrounded by 12 DRAM modules from SK Hynix. Tesla targets roughly 2,500 TOPS of AI compute and 144 gigabytes of memory per chip. The company claims up to 8x raw compute and 9x memory improvements over HW4, translating into much as 40x system-level gains in certain configurations. Tesla also confirmed that A16 and the next-generation supercomputer Dojo 3 are in development. Multiple A15 SKUs are planned, including a single SoC variant positioned against NVIDIA Hopper-class accelerators and a dual SoC configuration targeting Blackwell-class performance tiers. If validated, this strengthens Tesla's vertical integration strategy for full self-driving, optimizing performance per dollar and performance per watt across both fleet inference and Dojo training clusters. Independent benchmarks and power metrics will be the real test once production ramps in late 2026 or early 2027. Now, for a few other key updates in our lightning round. Amazon Web Services has launched Amazon BioDiscovery, an agentic application designed to accelerate early-stage drug discovery. The platform provides access to more than 40 biological foundation models, supports fine-tuning on proprietary data, and integrates directly with contract research organizations for wet lab synthesis and testing. In one-sided collaboration, Memorial Sloan Kettering generated 300,000 antibody candidates and routed the top 100,000 for testing, compressing a process that can take up to a year into weeks. AWS is positioning Amazon BioDiscovery as a lab-in-the-loop system, powered by Bedrock-style agents and standardized benchmarking workflows. Netflix Research has open-sourced Void, short for Video Object and Interaction Deletion, under the Apache 2.0 license. Built on a 3D transformer-based video diffusion backbone and trained with deep speed across 8 A180GB GPUs, Void reconstructs scenes after object removal using a quad-mask encoding to model causality, motion, shadows, and reflections. In human preference tests, Void was selected 64.8% of the time versus 18.4% for Runway. The implications range from reduced post-production costs to automated virtual product placement, alongside clear concerns about misuse and content provenance. OpenAI is testing a self-serve ads manager for ChatGPT. The current system charges advertisers on a pay-per-impression basis, with cost per click and cost per acquisition models marked as coming soon. Targeting is limited to keywords, free text hints, and country-level controls, and reporting currently includes only impressions and clicks. OpenAI has emphasized that ads do not influence the answers ChatGPT gives you, and plans to keep Pro, Business, and Enterprise tiers ad-free while testing in US Free and ChatGPT Go tiers. Finally, Samsung SDS is raising 1.22 trillion Korean won, about $820 million, through convertible bonds purchased by funds managed by KKR. The capital will accelerate Samsung SDS's push into full-stack AI solutions and its AI transformation business, known as AX. KKR will play an advisory role on mergers and acquisitions and capital allocation, signaling deeper private equity involvement in enterprise AI infrastructure scaling. And that's your AI briefing for today. The landscape is moving faster than ever, and we'll be here to track it with you. For more insights, visit us at letsdatascience.com. Thanks for tuning in, stay curious, and we'll be back tomorrow with the latest in AI.